Yes, brother.
Like, for example, you were quoting Leviticus about the clothing in Christianity. But in the later teachings, Jesus talks about just being modest and be modest for yourself. And so that a Christian would take not the literal meaning of you need to cover up, you need to not have the loose clothing, but just say that in modern society, it's a different idea, that modesty isn't the same.
Very good. See, I really like your question. If you ask me a question, and I will clarify you, I'll try my level best. The brother has given an example that when I talk about Leviticus, I didn't quote Leviticus, I quoted Deuteronomy chapter number 22, verse number 5, etc., which talks about modesty, 1 Timothy chapter number 2, verse number 9, even 1 Corinthians chapter number 11, verse 5 to 7, modesty. What now brothers trying to tell me that what Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, told that you have to be modest. But what he meant was not literally about the clothes, but just modest in society. That is your understanding of the Bible. Let's see what Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, said. Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, said in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter number 5, verse number 17 to 20, think not that I have come to destroy the law of the prophets. I have come not to destroy, but to fulfill. Until the heaven and the earth pass away, not one jot or tittle shall pass away from the law until all be fulfilled. And whosoever shall break one of the least commandments and teach men to do so shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. And whosoever shall keep the commandments and teach the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Unless your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, in no way shall you enter the kingdom of heaven. This is a verbatim quotation from King James Version. I'm speaking from my head. It's a verbatim quotation from King James Version, Gospel of Matthew, chapter number 5, verse number 17 to 20. So Jesus Christ says that even if you break one jot or tittle from the law, from the Old Testament, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. So when the Old Testament says the woman shall not wear clothes that which pertain to a man, and a man shall not wear clothes that which pertain to woman. Now tell me, brother Zakir, that's the literal sense. Now the society is changing. So Jesus Christ said, peace be upon him, if you break one law, jot or tittle, you shall not enter Jannah. Now do you mean to say that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, came to misguide us? Not at all. He clearly said that until the heaven and the earth pass away, not one jot or tittle shall pass away until all be fulfilled. Then later on the teaching of Paul, St. Paul, who is the self-appointed apostle of Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, he tells us that see, the law is nailed to the cross. That is his teaching. It's not the teaching of Jesus Christ, peace be upon him. Who do you believe? In Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, or St. Paul? So Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, said that unless your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, unless you are better than the Jews, you shall not enter Jannah. That means everything what is mentioned in the Old Testament, not to have pork, you have to be modest, has to be followed. That's the reason if you go, the nuns, they are dressed up like the Muslimah. Have you seen the photograph of Mother Mary? She is completely covered. Her head is covered. Up to the wrist, up to the ankle. I am sure in future you may have, God knows, Mother Mary may be wearing skirts. That is a later development. But the true photograph, if you analyze, same thing with the nuns. The nuns are properly covered. Why? So in Islam, every Muslimah is a nun. Every Muslimah, in terms of piety, she has to be pious, she has to be modest. So what I'm telling that if Christian means a person who follows the teachings of Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, then we Muslims are more Christian than the Christian themselves.